The Government Oversight Committee, please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And my pen. Okay, so I need a motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Leonetti. So you're in a weird place. I wasn't used to that. Supported by Ha. Please vote. I'm going to be totally messed up because everybody's sitting on. Motion passes 7-0. Approval of the minutes dated September 12, 2019. Moved by Romano, supported by Kraft. Please vote. Oh, I get to vote twice. Okay, motion passes 7-0. Public participation, does anyone wish to be heard? Seeing none, we'll close public participation. Appointment interviews, we have Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, and we don't have anybody here to speak on this one, correct? So we're just going to introduce the candidates and let them tell us a little bit about themselves. So we've got Dennis Champagne. Hi, come on up.
Good afternoon, everybody. Dennis Champagne. I'm been a Macomb County resident for over 50 years. Currently, am serving as the city manager for the city of Centerline. Am a resident, or will be a resident next week of New Haven, and just excited about the opportunity to serve at the county level as a citizen, not as a city manager, but as a citizen for the county, and looking forward to working with the Board of Commissioners to address the Brownfield Authority needs.
Okay, thank you. I don't see any commissioners wishing to speak. Commissioner Kraft.
Real quick, I just want to welcome you to New Haven pretty soon. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The vote will take place at full board.
All right, very good.
Thank you very much. Brandon Jonas. Oh, I don't know about Joseph Aragona. Okay, and then Patrick Meager, I believe, is unable to attend as well. Okay, so the next one is Jury Commission, and we have John Nizzle, the Deputy Court Administrator. Would you like to speak to it before we have the candidates come up or introduce them? Hi.
Hi. Just one. So good afternoon, Board. The Jury Commission is composed of 3 members. Only one has to be at least from a different political party than the others. The commission is currently made up of former Judge Pete Massaroni and then Leo Lalonde, and Ben Aloya has been on the commission, serving the last term. His term just expired in May. We have another meeting set for the Jury Commission in December, so we wanted to get this on the board's agenda. By statute, the judges of the circuit court make a recommendation, and then the board votes on that. So the judges met at their judges meeting. They recommended the reappointment of Mr. Ben Aloya, who's here with me today. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Okay, would you like to introduce yourself first and speak?
My name is Ben Aloya, and I've been practicing in Macomb County here, I think since about 2002, and I actually do work for the Department of Roads. I've been their counsel since about 2003, handling all the real estate transactions and condemnation litigation. I also represent Public Works, and I handle the real estate matters, as well as the Macomb Interceptor Drainage District. Concentrate on business law, transactions, real estate, transactions and litigation in both areas. I know several of you from the community and different experiences and cases, and it's been my pleasure to serve on the jury commission. This is my reappointment. It's been a great experience. I'd like to do it again.
Thank you. Commissioner Romano?
Mr. Lawyer, quite a resume.
Thank you.
You have my support. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't see any other speakers. Thank you very, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have next the Board of Canvassers, and I don't believe there's anybody from the Register of Deeds that wants to speak. We have 2 vacancies, 4-year terms. So the Democratic candidate is Sarah Stovall. Is she here? Hi, come on up.
Good afternoon. I'm up for reappointment for the Board of Canvassers. I've completed my first 4 years, and it's been a real experience going through quite a few elections for the county, the different townships, and the presidential election. I've also worked on recounts, and I am very qualified to hold this position. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any speakers. So thank you very much. We'll be voting at full board on that. Thank you very much. Okay, so on the Republican side, it says choose one, but we have Lori Mabee? Maybe? Maybe, I don't know. Is it like that, maybe? Okay, thank you.
Used to that. So again, thank you so much for letting me come out and talk to you today. My name is Lori Mabee. I have been a resident of Shelby Township for 26 years. I am a registered Republican. I am currently on the, I am the Republican co-chair for the AV Counting Board in Shelby Township. I have been for 4 years. I think you all have the information that I put in my application, so I do have a variety of election experience. I've actually worked in elections, running an electronic poll book. I have been on a remake team, for the AV Counting Board. I've also worked in the Shelby Township Clerk's Office, actually preparing for elections. So I've actually issued absentee ballots, filed them, processed them. I, had 29 precincts that needed to be set up for their elections. So we set up tabulators, poll books, office supplies, staff, everything that they needed to have a successful election. So I've actually, have a variety of election experience. So I would love to have that opportunity.
Thank you. And just very quickly before I call on Commissioner Romano, I just want everybody to know the reason there aren't very many people at the table is we were invited to the White House, and so several of the commissioners have gone to the White House, and they'll be meeting at least one cabinet member and given the opportunity to pepper them with questions. So that's why you don't see a lot of people at the table. Commissioner Romano.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Ms. Mabee. Just a quick question here. I'm noticing you got 3 candidates here from the Republican Party. Doesn't the party select one of you 3 to come forward? Why is there all 3 of you here on the same? No idea.
No idea. I think they felt that they had several qualified candidates, so that, I'm not sure.
Thank you.
The clerk's office may be able to answer that question. They're familiar with the process.
If you think, if you want to take a shot at that.
Sure. Yes, Commissioner. The way the statute reads that the congressional district chairs are supposed to submit 3 names for consideration to the Board of County Commissioners, and then you will select one from among those.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gillette.
Thank you, Mike. Don't go away. Quick question. I noticed there's not a person here that's being reappointed. Who is the person that's not seeking reappointment or not selected for reappointment?
Well, there are 2 vacancies on the board, 2 terms that ended, one for the one of the Republican canvassers, one for the Democratic canvassers. Sarah Stovall is currently on the board as the Democratic canvasser whose term is up, and her name has been submitted for reappointment. The Republican canvasser is a woman named Janice Neron, and her excuse me, her term is up and her name was not submitted for reappointment.
Okay, and those names are submitted again by the district
By
chairs?
the congressional district chairs, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I don't see any others. Thank you very much. Suzanne Rakowski, am I saying that correctly?
You are.
Thank you.
Very common last name. Thank you for allowing me to present today. I am seeking the position of Board of Canvassers as a Republican candidate. I live in Warren, and I've been there my whole life. I am also a precinct delegate and the treasurer for the 9th Congressional District. I have always been interested in the election process, more so since I've earned my master's in information assurance, which is under the cybersecurity umbrella. And I would love to be a part of it to understand more of what goes on behind the scenes. And being a part of the Board of Canvassers would help me to see that. I consider myself to be honest, straightforward, almost to a fault, and would do my best to fulfill the duties. So I appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, and I am straightforward to a fault. These commissioners will tell you that, no question about it. Thank you. I don't have any speakers. Thank you very much. Do we have, you're all laughing. Do we have Roy Wilson here? Okay. The next one is Human Services Board, and we're going to call up our Chief of Staff, Patty Dibb, to speak to this one.
Hi, Commissioners. I'm here because, as Commissioner Kleinfeld mentioned, Bob, our board chair, is in Washington, D.C. on county business with Vice Chair Carabelli and Commissioner Brown. So he requests that you concur with his reappointment of Reverend Dr. G. Patrick Thompson to the Human Services Board. Pastor Pat, as we know him, has been a faithful and very productive member of the Human Services Board for this last term. As such, he and the other board members go to DHS once a month, Thursday mornings, and then they travel over to Martha T. Berry and carry out their duties there. Let's see. So I'd like to introduce Pastor Pat.
Patty used to be a parishioner of mine. That's why she's so nice to me. What's that? Oh, she most of the time, yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to come back and seek your support for reappointment. This is my the end of my first term. I have recently served as the vice chair of the board, and of course, as you know, every county is mandated to have a social services board, but not every county has a healthcare facility. So we end up doing double duty. We're over at DHS, as Patty mentioned, early on Thursday morning, fourth Thursday of the month, and then over at Martha T. It's at that capacity, I think, that I'm perhaps proudest of the work that we've been able to accomplish in the last 3 years. Since Kevin Evans has been our director, there's been a massive turnaround at the Martha T. facility. If you've not been there recently, you really owe yourself a trip over. It is probably the jewel of Macomb County. I have the privilege of doing two jobs that I get paid for. I'm a part-time pastor in Port Huron in St. Clair County, and I'm also a chaplain for McLaren Hospice. And so I'm in and out of skilled nursing facilities in both St. Clair and Macomb County every week. There is none as efficient and compassionate as Martha T. Berry. The improvements that we've done to the front of the house, the new dining facility and the celebration center are just magnificent to behold, and the atmosphere, the ethos amongst the staff at Martha T. is something to behold, and I'm very proud of that. I'd like to be able to stay on the board to help us through the coming years. We've encountered some issues that have to do, financial issues that have to do partly with our assumption of some retirement benefit issues, and some of you know some about that, as well as some difficulties that we didn't foresee in the renovation that we did. We still enjoy a capacity of about 95% when the average nursing home in this country is about 83%. occupancy. And so by any measure, we are doing a bang-up job. And I like to think I've had a little bit to do with that. My background is in labor and employment law before I became a minister, and so I like to think that I've been able to shed some light on some of those personnel issues, and hopefully they've been appreciated. So I earnestly solicit your support for a second term that begins November 1st this year.
Thank you very much. I don't see any commissioners on to speak, so we appreciate it, and we'll be voting at full board.
Thank you.
New business. Commissioner Kraft.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioners, at your desk is a press release that the board is putting out, or has put out, creating a Veteran of the Year award, and we are seeking nominations. Just wanted to draw that to your attention. The Macomb County Board of Commissioners will honor and recognize a veteran who has made a significant contribution, or has made significant contributions to his or her community, locally and or nationally, through the 2019 Macomb County Veteran of the Year award. We will be accepting nominations through November 3rd, and the honoree will be recognized at the November 7th full board meeting. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other commissioners? Seeing none, public participation. Does anyone wish to be heard? Seeing none, we'll close public participation. Moved by Gillette to adjourn, supported by Leonetti. Please vote. Okay, we're adjourned.